Cush, Nubia-Sheba Imperial, Matriarchal crown has made a decree. I want to read to you a decree that has been made by Her Majesty in the year 2007 and the Diaspora Recognition Decree in Tripoli, Libya. To all of our kingdoms and subjects, and whomsoever this certification of recognition decree and confirmation pattern shall come before, greetings. Let it be known that I, Shebah the Third, Queen of Sheba of the sovereign imperial house of Ra, Cush, imperial matriarchal throne of thrones of Cush, Nubia-Sheba, seventh throne imperial Kasamsura, Asari Kepkaru lines, and head African Kingdoms Federation, by our social traditions and motion, in due of our sovereign rights, under our ancient customs of the matriarchal Auspices, throne of thrones of Cush, and our sovereign territories have as mother throne hereby advances, elevated, acknowledged, and thus here recognized the children of any and all taken from Africa and their children throughout the generation of the Atlantic slave trade to this present generations of descendants of our nation and thrones of Nubia-Sheba. Tribal nations, people from throughout the continent referred to today as the African continent by the power, authority, and divine right as their mother throne, and so decreed in matriarchal decree in form at 2007 African Kingdoms Federation Tripoli First Summit, in accordance to the Nubian-Nation patriarchal throne King Adam Ra II, divine utterance in accord with the imperial matriarch Emperor Shebah Ra III in 2000 divine resolution of the highest Nubian crowns for recognition of the Diaspora nations people and imperial crowned recognition. Work therefrom 2000 towards this realization, proclaimed in 2006 to become to the Nubia-Sudan family throne nation people in Nubia's new Halfa and Nubian community, let known by throne declaration to the Federation of Royal Kingdoms and Chiefdoms delegation and the African Kingdom 2007 Summit towards a united Africa, ratified in 2009 and made here official, proclaimed, signed on the 7th of the 10th, 2010, and made law by crown decree on this day, October the 1st of the 10th, 2010. Let it be known and understood that within this decree of recognition, the reference diaspora was equally made for and henceforth to be referred to as the Africas, in reference to the here recognized Africas and their generations to come. By this I recognize as mother and taken unto myself as imperial matriarch of the throne of thrones, our descendant children of the many kingdoms and throne lines taken directly under their ancestral common shared with all the nations and lines of Africa, born of the great ancestral lines of Cush, Nubia root ancestral mother throne, as their mother they often refer to before this day as African diaspora. To the state, style, decree, dignity, title, crown, bestowed, name, and honor, as now the Nubia-Kushite Kas-Ambu nation of the Kush Nubia-Sheba imperial matriarchal throne, by the hierarchy and nobility of our sovereign family lines, thrones, and territories, to have and to hold unto themselves and ears begotten in recognition of their ancestors' generations that were taken to their generation of descendants into to our sovereign imperial house and crown nation. Let it be known and understood that this recognition covers and includes any and all of the Africa's descendants, generation formed communities and nations that adheres to the ancestral traditions, social and community, cultural, moral norm, basic structure, and with respect to the royal norms and laws of this their kingdom nation, and shall equally have rights to petition for status as a royal chiefdoms of the lines of the thrones of the imperial matriarchal line of Cush, Nubia-Sheba ancestral mother kingdom and royal court nobility. We have here to this day order our head of council of imperial and royal houses to cause and register these patterns of immediate effect from this day for infinity, as here so decreed, and so will by I, Shebah the third of the seventh throne, on this day before the God of our ancestors and ancestors of the Nubia, Cushite Kazambu nation of the house of Ra, imperial matriarchal throne of thrones, it is now law, her imperial empress Shebah Ra, Queen Shebah the third. It means that all of us who in the bloodline of our families was taken and stripped of our dignity and our royal titles, Her Majesty has now declared that our royal houses are restored with full power and effect. Clap your hands and give God a praise. How do we describe her? We call her mother. But not only do we call her mother, she is the empress of the motherland. How we describe Her Majesty? God calls her daughter. We, a people who they carried beyond, thinking that we would never see. So they carried us beyond the sea, carried beyond sea. But God, in His sovereign wisdom, had already made it possible that one day on this place called Jamaica, that out of the motherland, we who were pulled from the nursing of our mother, we who lost our home and therefore our identity, we who were once living as a people with a name but lost our name, and our own historical book and records became the history of another. And so we who now have been told the color of our skin is a curse, somebody has rewritten our history, the history of the Nubian race, and told us that what is black is not good. But I thank God that He saw that after they said Columbus discovered Jamaica, and they would have taken us through the Middle Passage and over to England and bring us down here to work as slaves, which means slaves, one that is stripped as a slain enemy. That one day the cry of over 430 years of a people who have been crying to go back to the place where we once knew that God had placed us. And we have been calling for God to hear and to answer. I want Montego Bay and Jamaica to stand, because the motherland did not send a prince to bring us home. The motherland did not send a princess, but the motherland has come. Oh, come on and put your hands together. Hey, children of the diaspora, you are Africans. Your mother, our mother, Her Imperial Majesty, Empress Shebah Saira, Queen Shebah the third, direct bloodlines of Cush, direct, seated upon the 10,000-year-old throne, the throne of thrones, that God himself placed in the earth. I want everyone standing at this time as we welcome the Empress